The Freeway Phantom, Washington, D.C., 1971 to 1972. Between the spring of 1971 and the fall of 1972, terror gripped Washington, D.C.'s African-American community as 6 young black girls, ranging in age from 10 to 18, were abducted, assaulted, and murdered. Their bodies were dumped along highways and wooded areas bordering the city. The case, now over 5 decades cold, remains unsolved. Yet, the pattern is chillingly clear. This was the work of a serial killer, one who remains nameless, faceless, and free. The killer would come to be known as the Freeway Phantom. The victims. The first to disappear was Carol Denise Spinks, a 13-year-old who left her southeast D.C. home on April 25, 1971, to buy groceries for her mother. She never made it back. 6 days later, her body was found off I-295. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled. Just 2 months later, on July 8, 1971, 16-year-old Darlenia Johnson went missing. Her decomposed body was discovered 11 days later in a wooded area near the same highway. In a pattern that grew increasingly disturbing, each victim shared certain traits. They were young, black, and lived in working-class neighborhoods in southeast D.C. Most were last seen walking short distances, errands, trips to the store, or visiting friends. The killer likely approached them while they were alone. On July 27, 1971, Brenda Faye Crockett, just 10 years old, vanished while on her way to the store. That night, her family received 2 disturbing phone calls from someone claiming to be Brenda. She said she was with a white man and that he was going to send her home soon. Investigators later concluded she was being coerced into making the calls. Her body was found the next morning, raped and strangled, with green fibers on her clothing, fibers that would turn up in several later victims. The killings paused for several months, then resumed in October. Nenamosha Yates, 12, was found alongside the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, raped and strangled. In November, Brenda Denise Woodard, 18, was discovered near Route 202 in Prince George's County. She had also been raped and strangled, but there was something new, a note, stuffed into the pocket of her coat, apparently dictated or written by the killer himself. The Phantom speaks. The note read, "This is tantamount to my insensitivity to people, especially women. I will admit the others when you catch me if you can. Freeway Phantom." It was the first and only direct communication from the killer. The misspellings and strange tone baffled investigators. Was this a taunt, or possibly a genuine attempt to confess? The last victim in the Phantom's confirmed series was 17-year-old Diane Williams, who disappeared on September 5, 1972. Hours later, her strangled body turned up beside I-295, just south of the district line. Her shoes were missing, matching the killer's pattern. No evidence of sexual assault was found, though semen, thought to be her boyfriend's, was detected. Investigators have long suspected that the Freeway Phantom may have continued killing elsewhere, or simply altered his victim profile to avoid detection. The investigation. At least 4 separate law enforcement agencies worked the case: DC Metro Police, Prince George's County Police, the FBI, and Maryland State Police. But instead of collaboration, jurisdictional squabbles and poor communication plagued the effort. One promising lead came from green synthetic fibers found on multiple victims. These fibers were linked to the interior of a vehicle, possibly the perpetrator's car. Despite narrowing the search to hundreds of vehicles in the area, no solid match was made. Another avenue involved the Green Vega Gang, a group of young men known to commit sexual assaults in a green Chevrolet Vega. Several members were interrogated, and while some reportedly confessed to individual murders, none were formally charged due to lack of physical evidence. Brenda Crockett's phone call also seemed to contain clues. She had mentioned being with a white man, but her hair was freshly combed. A detail her mother insisted indicated she had returned home briefly before being killed. Did she know her abductor? Was she allowed to change clothes and comb her hair, or was that part of the killer's manipulation? Theories and suspects. Over the years, speculation has pointed in many directions. One theory suggests a former police officer or someone with law enforcement knowledge, given the killer's ability to avoid detection and plant misleading evidence. Another points to someone with access to multiple jurisdictions, allowing him to move victims across county lines undetected. In the early 2000s, detectives re-examined the case with new DNA techniques, testing old evidence. Unfortunately, many samples had degraded or were mishandled, rendering them useless. In 2019, DC police acknowledged they had lost or destroyed critical case files and physical evidence, including fiber samples, clothing, and the original letter. This revelation effectively crippled any chance of solving the case using modern forensic tools. A killer at large. Despite the lack of arrests, most investigators agree the similarities between the murders, victim profile, method of killing, disposal location, and timeline point to a single organized predator. The Phantom's knowledge of the area, his confidence, and his ability to elude capture all indicate someone smart, calculating, and deeply disturbed. That he specifically targeted young black girls, and that these murders received minimal national attention, has also fueled anger and grief in the DC community for decades. Families of the victims continue to seek justice, but time is not on their side. Legacy and cold silence. The Freeway Phantom remains a phantom in the truest sense. Never identified, never captured, never even officially profiled by the FBI. Yet, his crimes left a lasting wound in a city already reeling from racial tension, crime, and government mistrust. In a time before Amber Alerts, DNA databases, and interagency task forces, the killer thrived in the shadows. He manipulated the media, the police, and his victims. And then, like a ghost on the interstate, he vanished. What is certain is this: He didn't stop because he was caught. He stopped because he wanted to, or found a new hunting ground.